This is just going to be a quick video on cleaning Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS cartridges. So I have a DS Lite here that I'm going to reshell in a future video, but right now I'm just trying to clean off a couple of these DS Lite cartridges. Some of them don't read. Like I just picked up Lego Star Wars 2, and just does not seem to be working. This DS also, the power LEDs, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, so I don't really know how to fix that. I thought it might have been a problem with a resistor, or maybe the LEDs went out, but sometimes, like I said, they flicker on and off, so I don't know if that's a power slider problem or if it's something else. But yeah, as you can see, the DS isn't reading the card in here, and if I turn it off, throw in Metroid Hunters. This one's in pretty good shape. It just has some gunk on the bottom, so I'm gonna clean that off. But if I throw this in here, it should work. Yeah, so the card reader works. It's just this cartridge doesn't work. And the thing about DS Lite games, you can't take these apart unless you want to really break the shell for it, so it's kind of a problem. But for Game Boy Advance games, these you can take apart pretty easily. So yeah, to clean the cartridges, I don't have any 90% isopropyl, but 70% will do the job, as long as you don't oversaturate the board or anything. It should evaporate off fine and it should work. But what I like to do is get a tool that can get in between the lines right in here with some paper towel with some isopropyl. Just get in between there, clean off the front a little bit too, make it look a little bit nicer. But yeah, show you guys how I do it. You just want to go over each of the individual contacts and move on to the next one. And like I said, this game wasn't too bad. I just wanted to clean up the contacts. It still read the game and stuff. It just wasn't too clean. Then give the front a little bit of a wipe down too. So, yep. And yeah, that looks pretty clean. I don't know if you can see that, but looks a lot better now. But both of these two games, the Lego Star Wars 2 and Pop Tropica, I recently bought these at a GameStop, and they're really cheap, and they're just not reading, so kind of don't have the receipt to return them, so I want to see if I can get them to work. And I don't want to take apart the shell of the game, because you know these are kind of like plastic welded together, so if you take it apart, it just breaks. You could probably find like a new click-in shell for it or something, but I doubt it'd work the same way it's supposed to. feel some stuff on the pads scraping even. And sometimes when the card doesn't read too, the actual plastic separators right here, sometimes those, they get worn away or even bent, and that can prevent the reader from making contact. And to fix that, I haven't fixed any of those problems before, but probably have to just maybe, I don't know, cut it off or try and widen the gap between them. Yeah, if anybody has tips on why the LEDs aren't working on here, let me know. I thought it could be a resistor problem or the power slider, but couldn't really find anything on what is causing that. And I don't want to go digging into the board unless there's something I know specifically that's wrong with it. So that looks a bit better, but this one is pretty crusted up. There's some stuff on there. Give that a quick test and see if it works. There we go. So that's cleaning the DS cartridges. I'll do the Pop Tropica afterwards. Yeah, this one's pretty beat up. I don't know if you can see this, but there's some scratch marks on the back of it, and the separators aren't worn down too bad, but there is some light damage on there, but the pads are fine, so it should be able to be fixed. Should work against. But yeah, so let's see. Probably gonna start with this one right here. So gonna give this one a little bit of a clean front and back. I just picked this one up, and it had a sticker on it, and some of the residue from the sticker decided to stick around, so some isopropyl will get some of that gunk off of it, and the rest should come off pretty easily. Or not. Okay. That did not work. I'm gonna use a Q-tip. There we go. Much better. All right. So to open a Gameboy game, you need a tri-wing bit to take the screw out. And this is just a cheapo one. It's just Nintendo uses their own screws. And then slide it down. This one doesn't have it, but some Gameboy games do have coin cells in them, and I'm pretty sure that they're the CR1616, CR1616 sized. And if you don't have a digital multimeter to test that, you can just basically tell by if your game is not saving. And I see a lot of videos of people taking a razor blade to those batteries and just trying to pop them off, pop a new one in, but I don't suggest that method. I actually suggest maybe investing in a cheap soldering iron and doing it correctly. But this is the board for Game Boy Advance. The contacts are a lot easier to clean when it's opened up like this, so I'm just gonna get some ISO on Q-tip and give that a quick clean. All these games are working fine. I want to test the Golden Sun battery though and just see where it's at, because I plan on playing that and want to make sure I have some save data. Stuck there over time. If you have really oily hands, maybe do this with some gloves on. There's nothing sensitive really on the board, but cleaning the contacts on a Game Boy game is kind of a pain if you don't have the correct tri-wing to take it apart. So let that breathe a little bit and just basically pop it back in. Pop it back in, and it's pretty straightforward. So yeah, go for Game Boy games. The front of it slides down and slide it back up, and then put the screw back in, and should work like new. And so you don't re-thread the hole. Turn the screw to the left until you feel a click, and then you can start screwing it in. And that shouldn't re-thread the plastic.